Welcome to EnduringTechnologyPress.com. I'm Eric, and of all the types of bread that there are out there, I think one of my favorite has to be pumpernickel. It's sweeter. It's just an amazing bread. I think it's probably my favorite bread with cheese. It just accompanies it so nicely. Or fantastic toasted with some of the rich honey buckwheat that we've got is just an awesome topping on it. I've got two great loaves here. I know a lot of people are intimidated by making it. There's a couple extra steps, but it's really, really easy. Just change up the ingredients and you get these awesome, wonderful loaves. And these ones in particular are made using sourdough. So there's an added richness that you don't get with just regular yeast. And really, it's not that much more difficult. What you're looking at is a little bit of effort the evening before to make a sponge starter. And then, you know, your leavening on your baking day is going to be a little bit more protracted, that period to double the bulk. Because you're dealing with wild yeast and the concentrations, or wildish yeast culture, and the concentrations are not equivalent to what you'd be putting in if you were putting in dried commercial yeast. Really easy, really awesome. So I'll show you how to do it while I go and have a beautiful slice of this with some fantastic cheese. Okay, so last night before we hit the sack, we started our sponge. So we used our sourdough starter and mixed that with our triticale flour and some cold coffee. Mixed it up, just put it in this Pyrex bowl, and that really allows, as you can see, maybe you can see on the side here through the glass bowl, there's a lot of air pockets in that, or I guess really it's carbon dioxide pockets, where that yeast is multiplied, and it's now ready to act as a leavening agent in our loaf. So a little bit of forethought required, a little bit of time, but this took all of, a minute to put together. Cover it up with a dish towel, and then you walk away from it. Into our mixer bowl here, we've got our remaining flour, our caraway seed, our cocoa, our molasses, and our oil. So all those things are in there. And from here on out, we're going to proceed more or less like we would with a regular bread. Of course, sourdough, your rise times to double in bulk are going to be extended, but easy enough. We're going to put all this in the bowl, and while this is all triticale flour, depending on, and if, that's an odd flour, unless you're grinding your own as I do, my own mill, might be hard pressed to find that flour. You can use rye, or you can use rye and wheat as a combination to find something that you like. And then with your remaining flour, that can either be 100% rye, 100% triticale, or if you're baking for somebody who's a little bit less inclined to have 100% extraction grains, it can be white flour. And your ratios are roughly 50-50. You can see that on the website though. So we're going to put this in the stand mixer with the dough hook on. And we're going to knead this until it comes at a nice consistency. You can either create one jumbo loaf, or I usually like to make two smaller loaves. And then I usually, because I don't yet have a proofing oven, I usually put them off in the regular oven. If I'm not using it, it just gets it off the counter and out of the way, and I'll let it double in bulk. And then I'll pull them out, turn the oven on, bring it up to temperature, and then slide them back in and bake them for the allotted time. Split in half. We're looking at about 35, 45 minutes, somewhere around there. So I'm going to put it on the machine, let the machine do the work for me, and then come back to it when that's all done. Your rye bread or your pumpernickel out, you're going to want to form, if you're going to form it into a traditional ball shape, what you're going to want to do is fold it under, and you're always going to have, it's a little bit tacky. There's a little bit of tack to it, but you can see that it's not sticking in my hands. But there's still that little stickiness. That's just the perfect consistency. That says you got the water just right. Because you've really hydrated your rye or your triticale, your whole grain flour overnight when you're making your starter. You don't have to worry about having it extra wet to allow for the absorption during the day. So get that folded over. Forms a nice boule. You can see those awesome caraway seeds stumbling there in there. And the smell, you know, too bad this isn't with smell tech, because it smells just great with the molasses and the caraway. And anyway, there it goes onto our silicone baking sheets. We're going to put that and let it rise until doubled in bulk, and then it's going to go and we're going to do the baking.